Bethany Scott here, and welcome to my channel. I am joining you today after a slight hiatus, just for some quick life updates, and also because I have some goodies that have been sitting in my to be open pile, and I need to play and relax and enjoy a little bit of life again. Let me show you what's on my desk. I have the paper pad club from the Not Too Shabby shop. I believe this is for July. I'm not 100% sure. Apologies, Jamie. Kind of lost track of life here. So yeah, some of you have caught me in the chats on the other channels, but I am going through a little bit of interesting change phase, I guess. As most of you know, I've been an accountant for a very long time, and I've always done small business accounting and, growing business accounting. And back in April, my main client went away, and hubby 2 days later lost his job too. And so it's been a lot of navigating. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is Enchanted Cozy Stories. This is very beautiful because that looks like a certain Disney princess, and that looks like another certain Disney princess, and ironically, that is Ellie's favorite, and that is Danny's favorite. Oh my gosh, this is like the stamp set is made for my house. Yeah, Once Upon a Rose, and then Enchanted Tower Tales. Oh my goodness. So we're gonna have to definitely play with these. So yeah, there's just been a lot of lifing. So far, just going from a 2-income household to a 0-income household has been a complete shock to us all. The kids have finished school and are navigating summer, while the adults are trying to figure out what's next. And I can't say we've made all of the correct choices. It's been extremely stressful. Oh, these are so pretty. And yeah, it's a lot of things all at once. Oh my, I am gonna struggle to figure out which to play with first, because I want to play with it all. And so it's just trying to figure out what the next right step is, doing the right things daily, applying for every job imaginable, even if it doesn't feel like it's going to be a good fit. And of course, months of rejections, because that's what happens when the job market is not as open as it could be or has been in the past. And so, I can't say that I've done everything right. And I've, made some choices along the way that, like, did I block myself from a job? Did I, Oh, so there's just a lot of overthinking and a lot of, not doing the correct things maybe all the time. And it's been stressful, and I did try to film a handful of times before, but by the time I even got close to editing the video, all of the things I had said in those videos were basically not... We love purple in our house. But all of those things were not relevant anymore. Too much time had passed. And so it's alignment, it's timing, it's just figuring life out when you don't really have a compass and your center is somewhere off in the wind. Yeah. And the kids are great. thankfully they don't seem to be too affected. But it's been a struggle. And so trying to plug into all of our small businesses that we've created over the years, and getting a few bites here and there, but because you're not really actively working the business anymore, nothing really seems to fit in the current situation. And so I'm going to stamp a couple of these out, and then we're just going to start piecing together as I talk. Oh, beauty in the little things. Happily ever after starts today. Ooh, I love that. Stop and smell the roses. Let your light shine. Cozy moments, magical memories. This is an amazing stamp set, Jamie. Love it, love it. So yeah, I am struggling personally, which is part of why, sharing this story, sharing life with you all has been not easy, because there's a little, I don't want to say shame, but there's a little bit of self-consciousness involved with even just losing a job out of the blue, especially when it wasn't necessarily your fault for losing the job. It's tough. It's very tough. I'm going to try to stamp this out without cutting down my paper. We'll see how well that works. But I'm going to at least do these lovely ladies. And so, yeah, things that have been normal are not normal anymore. Trying to cut down the budget, trying to eliminate as much stress as possible. And yeah, I've even ended up in the ER with the stress going on. And I haven't always made the right choices. I know that. Kind of trying not to beat myself up about it. I'm using VersaFine Claire, by the way. And yeah, so this is this is where I've been. And it's tough to talk about because, it's not the first time I've lost a job, but I think it's the first time losing, I don't want to say dignity, but the way that I lost the job was sketchy, for lack of a better phrase. It definitely, I would say definitely wasn't my fault. It was a toxic environment. I've vented in the chats before about the toxicity of that environment. And yeah, it was stealing my life. A similar situation with my husband. And so while it's good not to be subjected to those environments anymore, it's also like, well, now what though? What is next? What are we supposed to be doing with life? And yeah, there seems to be no right answers right now. But in the chat, or in the description down below, I am going to put the businesses we currently do have running, which are the hubby still has his Knowledge Well Media channel, and he wrote an amazing book. And yeah, so check it out. Check the link out to the book. It's a really great book. It's an ebook right now. And then just, yeah. I will have my Mary Kay link down below as well. So if you know someone who loves Mary Kay and doesn't have a consultant, feel free to check it out or share the link to someone else. And okay, these stamped out beautifully, by the way. I'm gonna let them dry for a smidge before I try to cut them out and accidentally smudge them. I'll pick my sentiments later though, once those are cut out. So yeah, I don't know what's up. I don't know what's down. Health-wise, yeah. I'm trying to be healthy, but it's a struggle. It's definitely a struggle, and it's like walking around with a giant question mark over your head, and you can't do much about it because, like, there's literally nothing you can do about it. And it's like, oh my gosh. Just so, what is next? Okay. So I have my Fiskars cutter because my Tim Holtz cutter is on the fritz. It is actually not working properly. And no matter what I do, I can't seem to get it to work properly. And I don't know if it just got dropped one too many times. But anyways, I'm going to just cut away 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So this will be the edge to edge of the card front. Yep. And I think this one should be in the middle. Should I do circular? I do like a circle or an oval, but that requires me to find my my shape trimmers. So let me go find my shape trimmers or my shape die cuts, and I'll be right back. Alright, I did find a Spellbinders stitched wall hanging die of the month, but I like the size of the oval because I think the princess will fit very nicely inside of it. So I'm going to actually cut out all 3 of these together. I may hate it. I may change my mind later. But for right now, that is what I'm going to go with. So I will use the mint tape wherever I have hidden it. Oh, I have to hide the mint tape from my children because they will continuously find ways to get it. And they're so adorable about finding my stuff and my goodies, my crafty stash, but they also abuse it, use it wrongly. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure if I'm even lining this up right, so regardless, I am going to make the best choice I have, or alignment wise. Alright, I will go ahead and put this through the die cutting machine and be right back. Alright, so here we have the middle circle and then the exterior. It did put some lines in it. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I could also pop it up on foam tape. My mint tape really does not want to release this paper. Okay. Anyways. Alright. So it's actually pretty cute. It didn't come out too rough. So that is an option to make it into a frame by popping it up. But I'm really loving how it's coming together. So now Of course, of course, of course, I'm going to have to cut this little lady out and color her. I did find my fussy cutting scissors, but they don't lock anymore. I did do a major cleaning of the crafty space here, and feel a little bit more moved in. Some of you may have followed the story of how the New Year, actually, and New Year's Eve, spent the day basically flipping the house upside down, literally putting the crafty space from the second floor down to the basement and actually turning it into a true office space instead of a cluster. And not everything still has homes, but things are slowly finding their space, and there's other things that we're just never going to get to, crafts or ideas that just kind of have fallen to the wayside. And so just making those tough choices, because yes, this crafty business is a business. Yeah, see, I just tried locking it and it didn't work. So, oh yeah, that's beautiful. So I'm gonna color her up, and then she's gonna go on here. So I think we're going to use some markers. Alright, now I'm grabbing this scrap, and let's zoom in a smidge. Alright, now you can see a little bit better. So I am testing out my colors to make sure that that's truly what I want to go with. Yeah, okay, that's very blonde. And for the hair, I'm going to do a color splash, which means kind of just coloring all around, following the pattern of the hair. And then a little lighter yellow to blend in. And I'm going to keep it simple with a 2-color, mostly because I don't want to take forever on this one. And as it blends on its own, I may come back and do some more. But for right now, that's just how I'm going to go about doing it. And you'll see I'm still leaving a handful of flecks of white. I'll show you up close, actually. So I just added little flecks of white still in there. The alcohol ink will blend into it a little bit, but it will also kind of create a little highlight, an intentional highlight, I should say. Not unintentional, intentional, thoroughly intentional. Okay, so now I want to pick my purple. We're gonna pick 2 purples, and that is a beautiful, lovely purple. So the centers of the flowers will all be this purple, and hopefully I'll find a lighter purple. So then all of the lanterns will be purple with the gold. Except for the one she's holding, that one will keep clear. Oh yeah. This is a very beautiful stamp. by the way. Alright, and then I'll keep this one to the side because I may bring that one back. I really do love that one. Okay, and then this is our 11, so let's see. It is a hair darker than I thought it would be. That may be my lighter purple. I'll try this one. Ooh, very dark. Oh my. Well, we may have used the dark first. Whoops. Yep, that's like blue. Okay, so let's see if we use a pink. That's a little pinkish purple. We'll use that color for the dress. But I think this one is just now going to be the centers. And we'll come back with the other purple. Alright, there we go. Much better. Alright. And then we'll give a little darkened edge to the side so you can see the light source. And fill in those flowers, so I gotta go back. Oh, yeah. Well, I truly have missed you all. Alright, so now we're gonna use this pinkish. Which will blend really great with that light purple. And we'll do a no edge skirt bottom. And we'll do little hints of color there. This kind of makes it a little watercolor, which, by the way, happy National Watercolor Month. This is also a style, if you've seen me, I've done this style before. P3, okay. I've done this style before where things are a little bit more whimsical. That's what I call it, whimsical. So I will allow for blending to happen a little bit easier. And so there's like dots sometimes where the shadows are, and then it'll blend on its own. But that way, there's not as much stress or pressure of it being accurate, and then I just blend back with the highlight color. So even the blending itself isn't as stark and doesn't have as drastic of an edge. So then I'll show you up close what that ends up looking like. It ends up giving this watercolor technique look to the whole thing. All right, so she's a little peachy skinned, so let's see if this is too dark. Yeah, that's very, very orange. Okay. That's a little better. Okay. So we'll do her skin now. She's got her sweet little freckles. I'm not going to do another color. It's just a choice that I make sometimes when I just don't want to change the skin color a whole drastic amount. But you'll see I just add it in as flecks. So it's a very highlight color. All right, and then next we're gonna find a bright warm yellow, which is probably gonna be more orangey. Oh, that's too brown. Let's try this one. Nope, that's still too orange. 30. Oh, that's actually not bad. So then I'll put it in all the things that glisten here. And again, since it's a highlight, it doesn't need any shadows. Doesn't need a whole lot of extras. So that top will be the same. We'll just make the candle that color. The little decorative things, the base. All right, and now we have a beautifully colored princess right there. She's gorgeous. I'm going to add a little bit of hue for the background. Let me just add a little, because I don't want the background to be stark white. Just add a smidge of gray. So that means that, you know, and I'll just make it a little swirly, like it's swirly sky. So it's not even going to show up on this camera here, but I'll know it's there. And the person who receives this card will also know this is there. Kind of grounds the background so that it's not so stark when I add it to the paper. And it just is a technique. It's basically just called grounding. And I have a little... No, that's fine. Okay. So now she blends in with the background. Yes, we can't see the full wallpaper. That's okay. In fact, I do kind of like that one, but no, we'll just stick with the purples on this one. So now it's time to assemble, and I need to check my glue and make sure it's not completely clogged, because chances of being completely clogged right now are potential. Potential. So I'll try it on this first. All right, we have a little drop. So going to go ahead and glue my card base. I actually lost my other nozzles. So my fine tip for the Barely Art glue is the only nozzle I have currently, which is great for fine detail work, but I sure do miss having a little bit more pull and not having to squeeze so hard sometimes when it comes to gluing. Because I also have a Xyron, and the Xyron is good for those detailed things that glue may too easily spill over on. So, and I may have to do a part 2 on this one because this is a long catch-up video. Well, let's see, what else is going on in our lives besides the joblessness? We have had some friends donate some things to us to keep the kids busy this summer, which is fantastic because, you know, it just helps. And I totally forgot to zoom myself back out. So I need to fix. So I'm going to use just a little bit of the foam tape. I think it should be thin enough. It might actually be thin enough. No, it's not. Just kidding. All right. Well, my foam tape will definitely be useful here. I might actually elevate our little princess lady here too. Give it a moment. This is I think this is a scrapbook.com they had like a gigantic sale on foam tape rolls. And since I, at the time, was very low, I bought whatever set they had on sale. And now I have like foam tape for life. And it's fantastic. But it also means I have a long ways to go before that foam tape is gone. Which is good. And I apparently cut some of these too small because the sticky is gone. Okay, cutting 2 more. Or attempting to. There we go. Much better. I think I'm gonna leave her flat. No. I'm actually going to use a lower thickness foam tape for her. That makes more sense. And then this will be another one that I will just add the sentiment later. Because I have a couple of ideas for who's gonna get this card. Or I might just have to make another one. But yeah, absolutely beautiful. And I know I pulled 1,000 things out and it's still on my desk, so that definitely means I need to make a second video playing with some more of these things, because I mean, therapeutic as that was, I could sit here and do this one and do another one and another one and another one, which means that this paper bag club of the month with the extended stamp set was definitely a good buy for me. I definitely will be using this set again. It is so stinking cute, and definitely something that, yeah. And if I don't use it, I'm pretty sure my kids will, because that's just how life goes. I am wishing you all happiness, joy, health, and wealth as I myself am navigating through what is bound to be an amazing chapter of my family's lives. I don't know what's next. I want to promise that I'll be here more often, but again, I don't know what's next. I just know that it's gotta be amazing, because we are in a phase of just ripping all the band-aids off and fresh start type of situation. And I mean, that giant question mark at some point, hopefully sooner than later, will have to be answered as to what is next, what is truly going to be the future of our family, the future of, just career-wise, what is going to be next. And I'm looking forward to it. Is it a little unnerving still? Yes. Is it very stressful? Yes. And making financial decisions when you don't know how you're going to pay for things? Yeah, that's extremely unnerving. But please go ahead and check out the links down below. I would genuinely appreciate all of the support. Even if you just share, even if you can't purchase or shop or donate or whatever, even if you just share the links with other people, that would be extremely appreciated for my family and I. And who knows? Maybe in a few weeks, in a month, I don't know. I'll have some really crazy, great stories to share that come out of this situation. And I can't wait to share it with you all. So, in any ways, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Don't forget to find the joy in your day and happy making. Bye.